This Just Drive segment of The Exchange is sponsored by Michigan Auto Law. Here's a fact that ought to scare you. Distracted driving is cited by law enforcement nationwide as the #1 contributing factor in fatal and serious injury crashes. And the distractions come in large part from our cell phones. But there are some ways to eliminate those distractions. Brandon Hewitt is here from Michigan Auto Law to explain. Good morning.
Good morning.
This phone of ours, it sure brings a lot of convenience into our lives, but it presents a lot of danger, doesn't it?
It really does, and it's taken for granted. And so it's nice to see some companies starting to catch up and do their part to try to help prevent distracted driving.
Yeah, we're going to talk about some of the apps first, but let's bust it down, because what we know, a lot of people say, well, I can multitask. I can drive my car and deal with my phone. Come on, I can do that. But multitasking, that whole idea is a myth, right?
Yeah, it's not walking and chewing gum, right? It's 4 cognitive tasks that's being required of you. It's visual, it's auditory, it's cognitive, and it's manual. So you're having to require your brain to do all these different things at once, and what you think you are actually capable of, you're probably not. Your brain's probably getting overloaded. And what you think about is, if you're at dinner with somebody and they start looking at their phone, they're not listening to you. And if you ask them to repeat back what you just said, they probably can't do it. So it's a pretty good example.
Yeah, it sure is. Okay, so let's talk about some of the things that we can do to protect. I think about my young drivers right now. How can we protect our family members, though?
So like I said, some of these companies are starting to catch up, starting with the hardware companies. iPhone. Apple has finally instituted an app or a built-in system on their phones where you can actually turn your phone off when you're driving. It's really simple to get to. You just go to the settings and control menu, and you can access it really quickly, and you can do it manually, or you can set it so that it's automatic, so that when you are actually moving in your car, your phone will sense that and it'll turn off your notifications.
All right, I want to plow through some of these other available options. AT&T has Drive Mode and Sprint has Drive First.
Yes,
What's all of that?
They're very similar apps, and what they do is not only do they can you manually do it, but it allows parents to actually be a part of that, which is really nice. And it will also send an automatic text reply to somebody that you are driving and you can't answer their text right now, so you don't feel that compulsion to try to get back to them right away.
Hear that ding and you think something important must be going down. What's Lifesaver? This is another one.
Lifesaver is a cool app because what it can do is actually prohibit all notifications and emails until you arrive at your destination. So you can kind of it's kind of like a Google Maps thing where you can set it in, and it won't allow anything to happen until it understands that you have arrived at your destination.
Oh, that's kind of cool. Okay, text blocker.
Text blocker is very similar, and really what these come down to is what you prefer, right? And text blocker will actually block all text coming in, going out. And what the really cool thing about some of these apps is, if you don't trust your teenager to actually participate, they have a online or parent option where the parent can control some of these things and get notifications that your teen is not using the app, which is nice.
A tattling device.
That's right,
I like it.
right.
And then what's On My Way?
On My Way is simple. It doesn't block any text, but what it can do is almost like a tracking. It can let people know that you are on your way, and they can follow you, right? So they can see, okay, you know what, he is driving, and I'm not going to bother him until I see that he's actually gotten to